PharmaPhobic is powered by Achieve the Lifestyle, a company dedicated to helping you empower your health, redefine your lifestyle, and all for the health of it. You're listening to PharmaPhobic, where we challenge the state of health in America. I'm Janie, a physician assistant, and I've seen how healthcare keeps people dependent instead of truly healthy.
And I'm Dan, a veteran turned fitness pro here to uncover the truth and explore simple and sustainable health solutions. From big pharma to big food, we're exposing the conflicts of interest keeping us sick and finding better ways to take back our health.
No fluff, no gimmicks, just real talk, real solutions, and a little bit of fun along the way.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of PharmaPhobic, brought to you by Achieve Lifestyle, where we help you become the strongest, healthiest, and most capable version of yourself. On this beautiful South Florida sunny day, I am sitting here in great company with my special guest in podcasting and in life, Miss Janie Brown. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm Janie. I'm a co-host of this podcast.
But you're special.
Yeah.
So you're a special guest co-host.
And I'm your partner in life, not your special guest in life.
But you were invited. It makes sense in my head, okay? You are special in my life.
Thank you. Okay.
I hope I got some points there for future use. Okay. We're going to get right into this, guys. A little bit abbreviated episode. We're testing some stuff out. Health news. There's a video going viral right now. It's this dude Clavicular. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. I thought it was AI for a second. I'm like, this can't be real. No, the dude's real, because then I saw another thing of him streaming. I guess he's a streamer, internet personality, whatever.
Is this truly what he does, or is it a parody?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if it's a parody, if he's been satirical.
Yeah.
Or I hope he is being satirical, but whatever it is, this video points to a growing problem.
Yes.
Right? So it's, he wakes up, he's in some Miami apartment in the future, right? And he's like, oh, I'm health maxing. So he goes to the bathroom and he's like trying to manage the shape of his face by hammering his little.
Looks like a smooth meat tenderizer.
Yeah, slowly hammering his cheekbones. So yeah, face smashing, because he's health maxing, right? First of all, this whole thing of using the word maxing for stuff. Oh my God, these kids, what are y'all doing? And then you got the adults talking like that. Anyway, he's health maxing, so he's taking that. Then he goes to the kitchen. He's going to get breakfast. Nope. He's going to take a retatrutide for appetite suppression. Mm-hmm. Then he's going to take this other peptide for leanness, and then this other thing. So he's injecting himself with stuff.
He has testosterone.
You have testosterone
and
for muscle.
Something for collagen production.
Yeah. No food, just that. So it just, I want to think he's being satirical. He's kind of criticizing. I think he is,
because then he goes and does some yoga crunches on his patio or his balcony, but he's wearing pants with a belt. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then he takes a shower.
Yep.
Why do you have a belt on?
I think he's...
Well, one thing, he ain't got no booty, so that's why he's got a belt on.
That's possible. His pants are falling off.
Anyway.
But it's just pointing to this thing that's going on now where I'm like, you know what? I think we are about to fall off the deep end. We're going there. And it's funny how we can never just do a moderate amount of stuff. We, as in human beings, as in the population. So the peptide thing is obviously really, it's all the rage. Okay.
Full send.
So if one peptide's good, we're going to do 25 peptides 25 times a day.
Has it been fully tested for long-term effects? Who cares?
A lot of these, so you get into BPCs, CJCs, TBs, you get into all these peptides that are going around the way. And I kind of separate those, even though the GLPs are peptide as well. And the trizepatides and the retatrutides, those are peptides as well. I make a clear distinction between them because the BPCs, CJCs, TBs, They're clearly indicated for temporary use. Some of them, at least the BPCs, it's mostly when you're managing injuries and that sort of thing. And the side effect listing on them so far is significantly less than the GLPs.
Did you see that with, I think it was just Ozempic and Wegovy, because that's semaglutide, they both are, that the FDA issued a warning or issued a fine. I can't remember who makes them. Is it Novo Nordisk? I can't remember. Novo.
Ozempic is Novo Nordisk.
Yeah. Because they withheld adverse effects when they released it.
Stop it.
No,
Are
listen.
you serious?
Yes.
Yo, stop
so listen, but they fined them. So they basically did this. Give me your wrist. They fined them like millions, which
this stuff's making
I think that they can handle that.
Yeah,
right?
this
but
making
it's like
billions a year.
It's like you were bad, but proceed.
Yeah.
And the thing is that these whole list of full effects aren't known commonly to people, or they're kind of told briefly. And then again, like we talked about in last episode, people have this disconnect where, yeah, that sounds bad, but that won't happen to me, you know? So anyway, go ahead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And now it's just funny to me.
Well, it just, I was talking to some of my coworkers yesterday about this because I'm like, okay, so they fined this company, but what did they do for the people who have been affected? Because there's lots of lawsuits right now.
There's about $2 billion worth of lawsuits right now.
But so many people have been harmed. Because how many people have had adverse effects, but they don't have the time, money, or knowledge to know that they can sue or that they can do anything? I have a patient who had a small bowel obstruction because of the GLP. She's not suing anybody. Well, she might be taking action against a local hospital who missed it. But anyway, I've also had patients who've had pancreatitis because of it. I've had patients who
gastroparesis. Seen that one.
Gastroparesis, and it's just.
Now,
what are we doing?
Think about this: $2 billion worth in lawsuits for companies that are going. The projections are $1 trillion valuations on the back of these products.
Yeah. So anyway,
so $2 billion is like, here you go, get off my back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they peel a 20 off their big ass bankroll and be like, here you go, get off my back.
It's like we get caught up with, oh, they got fined. Oh, all these lawsuits, all these headlines and that. But we don't take a step back and think, we as people, we as the population are being taken advantage of.
No doubt.
Because we're just, this drug is rolled out. It's promised. But hey, it's going to cause these really bad things. But now, as we've seen with a lot of celebrities who are taking it, that heroin chic, be super skinny, we're now being conditioned. Health is making yourself smaller. You are not healthy unless you are a small size. You are not healthy unless you look like you have TB.
And all of a sudden, the 90s are back.
Yeah.
This is
so
crazy.
It's just,
this is crazy.
We as people, how are we not outraged by this? How are we not outraged that this company that, you know, Big Pharma, save us, right? You guys are giving us hope. You guys are giving us drugs to help with our ailments. We trust you. And you withhold information from us because it could impact the bottom dollar for you? Why are we not mad?
Well, it does more good than it does harm. Yeah, okay.
For people who truly need it. But how many people who are on it that don't truly need it? It's a lot.
Don't ask me because I don't think anybody needs that trash. No, not a single nobody needs
Dan's
this
also
trash.
hasn't worked with patients with a BMI of 70. So
you know what? That's fine. Where does this conversation start and end for a permanent solution to that problem?
What do you mean?
What do we need to do? I don't care what you jump on. What do you need to do to solve this problem permanently? You need to lift weights. You need to eat real food. You need to manage your lifestyle. So if we're going there anyway, why are we taking this detour into stuff that's going to give us all these side effects and stuff? Like, quit playing. Get to what actually does it. You know what I mean?
It's because like in the movie WALL-E, when we're in spaceships and we're all in chairs because we're so fat and we can't move around, this is going to make us smaller.
Oh, so the share has to work less so we
Yeah.
can be, oh God. But yeah.
And then less material for the spacesuits.
Well, if going back to this clavicular
Sorry.
video, no, because going back to it, this video, it kind of, what I see is a glimpse into a future where everything, you know, you see the apartment, it's all like this sanitized kind of look, right? And then doesn't have any food on the counter, nothing, no pictures on the wall, anything. It's all hyper sanitized. And then he's doing all these peptides to kind of, I'm health maxing. And I'm just like, okay, now we have these peptide influencers, people that are taking all these, oh, this one's for my skin health. Oh, this one's for my whatever hormone. This one's for leanness. This one's for that. And it's like, bro, now you're injecting yourself 5-6 times a day with a bunch of stuff. How about just eating real food and lifting some damn weights, my guy?
And what is this obsession with looking perfect, and who determined what perfect is?
Well, you know what? I put that in there. Altering physical appearance, this obsession, but it's all surgical interventions and somebody that makes fake stuff and fake fillers for your lips and fake fillers for your cheeks and fake fillers for your butt and fake fillers for your boobs and all this stuff is telling people that this is what looks good. And really, if you have eyes to see and you see these people that are doing this, you know they don't look quite right.
Yeah,
They don't look quite right.
I do a lot of pre-ops for some local plastic surgeons, and it hurts my heart when people come in for plastic surgery. I die a little bit each time. I need to get out of this. But anyway, just because they're altering how they look, they're not happy with how they look, or they think they need to look a certain way. And it's just heartbreaking because what's going on inside that you feel like you have to distort how you look so much? Or why do you think that?
To this clearly unnatural level, right?
Yeah.
Like
because you look at these people and you can plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Because especially down here with the facelift and then the cheek fillers and then removal of the buccal fat, you all start to look the same. All of you do, and you start to look more like a cat.
Lip fillers that you can barely close your mouth. Botox out to where your forehead shows no expression. Then we got the fake boobs. Here's the thing. There is such a thing as aging gracefully, right? And the thing is, when you've gotten that much work done, it might look cute for 2 minutes. I don't think it does, but in my opinion, it might look cute for 2 minutes. But as you start aging, it's like you go from being 45 to being 75 in 2 minutes, because that stuff obviously doesn't look natural. And the older you get, the worse it looks.
Plus, like with lip fillers, you just making your lips bigger and bigger and bigger. It reminds me of this thing I read a long time ago about baboons.
Mm-hmm.
Of how, like, you know, big lips are attractive because it looks like the butt or like a swollen genitalia.
In baboons?
Right? Baboons, because have you seen a baboon's butt?
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
And so it's just like, I don't know, I just think about that because I learned about that like from like a science class I took a long time ago for animal behaviors. And I'm just like, y'all getting your lip fillers look like a baboon butt.
Either we're making a parody of ourselves, man. It's bad. And this video, I think he's satiring. He's kind of pointing to this future where everything's fake, pretty much, you know, and there's no joy. There's no joy in that. And I think this video fits it perfectly. But just giving you some food for thought with this.
No joy and no inner peace.
Yeah, and guys, right? Just, man.
Why, like, just, you're always, like, nothing's good enough. You're always trying to seek something better. And it's just like, why can't you be happy with where you are? Why can't you be grateful with what you have?
Yeah, and your health issues are due to something that you're not on, this mentality. That's the mindset, right? Instead of being like, yo, I'm doing too much. I need to do less of this and more of this stuff that all humans should be doing. But I'm over here trying to find my answers in synthetics. Like you're putting your hope in paper mache type of thing. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's sad to see. And I hate that we're jumping off the deep end where we find something that's potentially good and then we turn it into something that's to our detriment, meaning things like BPC seem to be really good. BPC 157, right? And injury healing and all this stuff. shortening injury recovery time. And that sounds great, right? But here we are jumping on 25 other peptides too to freaking health max. Come on now, guys, calm down.
So especially with peptides, they were likely all started for like good reason, like to truly help people. Because even the GLPs initially were for
diabetes.
No, before diabetes, for Alzheimer's. That's its original use, right? And then they found, which the fact that it helps with blood sugar and weight loss, then with lifestyle and improving of insulin resistance help prevent Alzheimer's.
There's a conversation.
Right? So anyway, but it's like we see, it's the same thing with Viagra. Originally it was for blood pressure. Now, whether that was for like a really truly helpful reason. And then they found that when men took it for blood pressure, what happened? Oh, guess what? We can make a lot of money off of.
A lot more money.
Right? And if you don't believe me, then if you have your script for Viagra or Cialis, why is there a warning that it could drop your blood pressure? So anyway.
Guys, what are we doing, bro? The AI, same thing. A little AI is good. No, let's make everything AI.
Yeah.
Let's let AI run everything.
Point. So when you use AI to think for yourself, bad. When you use it to optimize what you're already doing, it could be useful, right? When you use these health hacks, peptides, cold plunge, what else? Vibration plates,
red light therapy,
all that stuff. When you use it to take care of your health while you do nothing, bad. If you're doing all the things and you're able to do these things to optimize, okay.
Insanity has ensued and it will ensue. And here's the thing, we're just scratching the surface. It's going to get way worse. If people are on 25 peptides and they're building all these Instagram followings, telling people about how much they're injecting themselves with stuff to health max, soon there's going to come a bigger influencer and he's going to be on 50 peptides, right? And that's the way we're just jumping off the deep end with it. That's where we're going with it. Guys, our people, the people we want to talk to, are people that know when you see this that you're like, something's not right. It just don't smell right. So I'm going to go in this opposite direction.
I find it very attractive, and I don't mean attractive in like a sexual sense, but I find it very attractive when I see an older person who's in shape, you know, maybe has like some wrinkles on their skin, but they seem just like vibrant and just alive. Do you know what I mean? I find that I'm attracted to that. I'm like, I want to be like that. Like they seem to be vibrating like with this, you know, this life because they're taking care of themselves. When I see a person who has like, they can't move their face, they're rail thin, and their eyes are dead, and they're probably sedated with some Xannies. It's like,
and they're coming to you for another script.
Like that's not attractive. Now, maybe you look great in pictures, but how do you move through life?
Quality
and what's more important?
Yeah. I think and everybody loves this when you hear people that live till 95 and they're still playing golf type of thing. And it's like, oh, you look at their life and they've been active all their lives. They've tried to eat well all their lives. They've had good relationships, you know, and they kept that energy, right? It's just a better way to wrap it up. You're like, oh, I'm 95 years old. I'm playing golf. And it was like, Lord called me home. I just, oh my God. It's over. Okay, going home, you know, versus I'm all, you know, dealing with all this illness from all this other stuff. But don't worry, I was health maxing because I was on 50 peptides and it didn't help me live a great life any damn way. Now, not to say some of the BPCs and the TBs, they have their use. But remember, it's like, hey, I injured something. I jump on the BPC for a little bit while I'm healing this. Boom, I'm off it. I'm done with it. This isn't a permanent solution type of thing.
To get back to the quality of life that I wanted, not to help sustain the suboptimal life because it feels more comfortable and better. And now let's take a quick break. Have you heard about collagen and how amazing it is for your skin, hair, nails, digestion, and joints, but have no clue which one to choose? I've been there. A few years ago, I stumbled upon Bubs Naturals, and let me tell you, I've been hooked ever since. Here's why I swear by them. Bubs Naturals keeps their quality standards sky high from the start to finish. Their collagen blends perfectly in coffee, or really any other beverage you love. Plus, they've got convenient to-go packs so you can stay on track wherever life takes you. And it doesn't stop there. They'll donate 10% of all of their proceeds to charities that support veterans. How awesome is that? Oh, and they've leveled up their electrolytes too. The mixed berry, that's my absolute favorite. It's light, refreshing, and not overly sweet. What sealed the deal for me? Their electrolytes are NSF certified, made right here in the USA, and just like their collagen, every purchase helps give back. So do your body a favor, head to bubnaturals.com and use my code JANE20 at checkout for 20% off every time you order. Tired of looking like you lost a fight with a powdered donut every time you work out? Yeah, I was too. That's why I ditched the messy chalk and switched to Chalkless. Chalkless is a new, clean, residue-free grip enhancer that goes on in seconds and lasts for hours. No clouds, no cleanup, just a rock-solid grip. Whether you're crushing it in the gym, dominating on the pickleball court, or hanging on a rock face like Spider-Man, Chalkless has your back. I even hit my 350-pound deadlift PR at Summer Strong using Chalkless. Locked in, zero slip, total confidence. Ready to level up your grip game? Head over to chalkless.com and use code JANEBROWN to snag 10% off your order.
So, guys, just
don't do it.
Don't do it. Just don't jump off the deep end with this stuff.
Well, it all comes down to whether it's now or 50 years from now, it all comes down to the basics. Like, we as humans aren't ever going to evolve past the need for sleep, certain micronutrients that we've evolved to need. We need protein, we need fat, we need social connections, we need water.
You need to chew on food.
Yeah. All these basic things. It's not that we need these things. We're sustained by these things. Either if you believe in evolution, we evolved to this, or we are put on this earth by God with all this stuff that we need. But then man is creating things. Man, you're not the creator. So the things that you create to sustain life are not going to truly sustain life.
It's a synthetic. It's a copy. It's an imitation. It's a.
And I'm not saying that.
What's the word that I'm looking for here? It's like the fake version of the real thing.
And I'm not saying that just because man created medication, you should never take medication. That's not what I'm saying. But it shouldn't substitute you doing what you need to do. I had this conversation with some friends, how I talked about on a previous podcast, how if you know you have chronic health issues and you're not changing your lifestyle, that is neglect of your own health. And the thing I was telling my friend was, I find it odd how because this friend has a very similar lifestyle to Dan and I, we probably take better care of our health than somebody who actually has a medical reason to take better care of their health, which is probably why we don't have a medical reason to need to take care of our health, but we do it from a preventative stance. And because we truly understand the quality of life that this work yields us. Now, if you have a chronic health issue for whatever reason, it's not I'm not saying you're bad, but if you need a medication to put out a fire, fine. But equally, start to take ownership of your health. Because if you don't, through lifestyle, you're just going to need more and more and more medications. And then that is a very poor existence, and it gets very messy at the end.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about something that truly is health maxing. I'm talking about breakfast.
Oh, most important meal of the day.
Most important meal of the day.
Forgot we were going to talk about this.
Here's why we're going to talk about breakfast.
That's why I kept going off on tangents, because I thought that was our only topic. I was like, oh my gosh, stretch this out.
Girl. And I'm over here looking at you like,
hurry up.
Trying to get to the meat and potatoes of the show, which is breakfast. And meat and potatoes are very good options for breakfast. Okay, let's talk about this. Why have breakfast? Because here's the thing. Here's where this stems from. I was having a conversation with a client, older person in his 70s, and he asked me about breakfast. And I train him somewhat early, like 9 a.m.-ish usually when he trains, 9 depending on the day. And sometimes he's just dragging it. He's like, I'm tired today. And my question's always, did you have breakfast today, kind sir? The answer is always no. But one day, recently, he's just crushing it. I'm like, yo, that's a PR. Oh, let's get on this chest press. That's a PR. He's like, yo, like feeling really good. He's hyped up. I'm like, did you have breakfast today? And he starts laughing because he did. He told me I had a protein shake with this stuff that I put in it, and I had some eggs. There you go. There's your answer. Now you got energy to come in here and kick. But, okay, older people of his age, 70s, they grew up with the classic food pyramid, eat grains first, all this sort of thing. But they also have this mindset that breakfast, like, no, I don't eat breakfast. I just skip it and get to work. It's not a good thing. And if they do eat breakfast, guess what they're eating?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Pure carbohydrate. So he's asking me, what should I be eating for breakfast? Because this is what I was thinking about having. It's oatmeal, and then I put granola in it, and then I put fruit in it. I'm like, great, but oatmeal, granola, fruit, that's all carbohydrates. Fat, protein with it. You know, so now you're throwing this big old bowl of oatmeal and granola, and if it's ready to eat oatmeal that you microwave, it's got a bunch of added sugars in it, a bunch of stuff. So we're just throwing this carbohydrate bomb into an empty stomach that you woke up with, and you're going to get a huge blood sugar spike. There's no proteins or fats to kind of stave that off. So that's problematic breakfast, right?
The only good thing about like that oatmeal, fruit, granola combo is he probably did get some good fiber in there. So with that whole, so this is where it gets tricky because people say, hey, I have oatmeal and that sustains me. Well, that's the fiber, but it's not the protein, which is something that you need. We don't need carbs. We benefit from them, especially if we're active, but to truly survive, you don't need them. And so that's where it gets tricky, especially when people are like, but I have oatmeal and I feel full. Okay. We're not saying not have oatmeal. We're saying add some protein to it in some way.
Yeah, so the conversation was I have oatmeal and I feel full because you're having a big old bowl of oatmeal and then you have fiber, right? But you're still not, it's too much, too many carbs into an empty stomach, and you're going to get this big old spike in your blood sugar. Body has to release a lot of insulin. Nutrient-wise, I wouldn't put oatmeal up there with nutrient density stuff.
Well, I'm more talking
putting
about
fruit in
fruit,
it.
yeah,
he put fruit in it, so now we're cooking. But I wouldn't put, if you're just having a big old bowl of oatmeal, I don't think you're like, oh, I'm really nourishing my body with nutrients. It's pretty devoid of that, actually.
It feels soothing.
Yeah, it feels like you're doing something, but the oats are not high in nutritional content. And a lot of the oats that people are buying are enriched, right? So it's a lot of synthetic stuff in there. Think about glyphosate content and all this other stuff that's down the road, but talking purely about nutrients that you're receiving when you eat a bowl of oats, they're not there. A fruit bowl, now you're cooking. Eggs, yes, now you're really cooking in nutrition that is coming in. So why have breakfast?
Right. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky because some people think, or some people benefit from fasting. And there is some medical benefits from fasting, but it very much depends on your activity level, like kind of like your gender, your age, your hormonal status, things like that. Some people are able to, and this is like a big bodybuilder debate too about working out fasting versus not fasting. And I mean, I've done both. I find I'm better if I have some fuel in the tank, especially if it's more of a higher intensity, like really heavy weights. If it's something just like I'm going to do some zone 2 walking, I can be okay without eating. You're the same. You've gotten up first thing in the morning and done some zone 2 stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I look at from a purely, that's super technical for the average person.
Right. That's like if you're going to get on a stage, you're trying to optimize fat oxidation or metabolism and appearance. Like that's, but also there is like in that book, Biblio Diet, there is some benefit to fasting. There's also bowel rest for your GI system with fasting, but I'm talking like 12 hours. Like you eat dinner at like 7 o'clock, and then you don't eat breakfast until 7, 8 o'clock.
Assuming that one of the 8 of those hours you're sleeping too.
Yeah. So like overnight while you're sleeping and you're not eating, that's a fast.
Yep.
But most people don't think that. They only think about when I'm awake.
Yep. They forget to count that they're sleeping.
And then when the big fasts can be done like sprinkled in throughout the year, and then more of like a 16-8 fast, you have to be very strategic within your eating window, especially if you're trying to increase your activity.
But and still,
but that's So, but even in the book, they talk about introducing fasting. They start with try for 12 and 12.
Yeah, but it's super technical still. Like that's even above the pay grade of the average person that needs to improve their health. I don't like the conversation of fasting because people jump on it quickly rather than you need to eat more protein. You need to make better food choices, right? You're naturally going to fast if you're eating 3 meals a day or 4 meals a day. You know, you got potentially the 8 hours of sleep and a couple of hours built in there. People will fast. Yes, we can talk about that later because there are benefits to fasting in certain points in time. But fasting as a daily strategy for the person that's still trying to improve their nutrition, terrible idea.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up is because breakfast, break fast.
Mm-hmm.
Break your fast with breakfast, right? The best way to break a fast, protein and fat.
Correct. Yep. Something from putting in nutrients after sleeping, that sort of thing, from a pure strategy of making better food choices. It's easier to make better food choices when you're not hungry.
Yes.
When you're not starving. This is why fasting is not for everybody. And I feel like you need to be a little bit more involved in your health journey to toy around with fasting.
Okay, I understand.
Okay? So this is, if we look at it like jujitsu, fasting strategies are more at the purple belt level, which is right in the middle of the road. White and blue belt, you need to figure out how to get more protein, how to get over 100 grams of protein a day because you're eating 50 to 60 right now. And you're eating mostly carbs and you're eating processed foods, right? So we need to figure out how to take those out, what to eat instead, right? Now, eating breakfast, when you feed yourself appropriately in the morning and you get some protein, and you get some healthy fats in there, and you get a little bit of carbs, your energy's better managed, right? We're not in this super high, blood sugar level that I'm going to crash down 2 hours later because I had too many carbs, not enough fat and protein. We're that steady state energy. Our mind is working better. So we're going off to work in a better mood. We're in a better position to make decisions and stuff. Now, as lunch starts coming around, you're not that hungry. You're getting hungry, but you're not that hungry. That makes it easier to make a better food choice, right? You started off the day with protein. So I have a hard time getting 100 grams of protein in. You started off with breakfast. You picked a good breakfast. Hey, listen, you got 30 to 40 grams already in the bag, right? Come lunch, boom, let's put another 30 grams in there. These are arbitrary numbers. Not saying
they're really not. They do
like,
recommend like having a breakfast anywhere from 30 to 50 grams of protein. And especially if you're trying to hit a protein goal, bodybuilders talk about this a lot, but also just for the general population, it's better to start ahead than try to make up protein at night.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people that say they have a hard time eating protein, they're skipping meals and they're trying to get it all in with dinner.
Right. And so setting the standard for the day with a good source of protein north of like 30 grams or more is a great way to go. And it sets the tone for your satiety throughout the day, like Dan mentioned. You seem more satisfied throughout the day. You'll get hungry and you'll say, oh, well, I'm going to choose a lunch to help with this hunger, not I'm starving, put food in my mouth to get rid of this hunger.
Yep.
There's a difference. And everyone has felt it. And the studies actually show the most important meals are breakfast and dinner. So the beginning and end. The middle, plus or minus, but that means breakfast and dinner need to be really optimal with protein. And that tends to be easier to get more, because you tend to have more control over your breakfast if you make time for it. A lot of people just wake up and rush out the door. But dinner, again, if you make time for it, holding that sacred space to have dinner at home with your loved one. If you live alone, take that time for you to nourish your body. There's value in nourishing yourself. And then lunch, a lot of times it's more on the go. So preparing for it, getting a good amount of protein, but really focusing on breakfast and dinner.
Yeah. And I think like I was saying, easier to make better choices if you're not starving, right?
Yeah.
People that skip breakfast and are like, I'm just gonna go to lunch and I'll have lunch. Now lunch rolls around, you are ravenous and you're itching, you're like dying to eat lunch. You're not gonna make great choices.
Right.
And again, this is something that's more evolved. In the beginning of our health journey, we have to make the better choice easier to make, right? You're not doing that if you're skipping breakfast. You're making it harder to make the better choice. As you evolve and you're more of a purple, brown, black belt in your health strategies, now be like, I'm really hungry, but I have the discipline and the body of work to be like, I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna make this choice, even though I'm dying right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hold out and cook my own food or whatever it may be, right? But in the beginning, I have to make it easier to make the right choice. And that means I can't let myself go ravenous. So when people skip breakfast and they say they're gonna hold out for lunch, lunch comes around, you're ravenous, you're gonna eat whatever. Now we messed up, right? Now we're eating whatever. We're not sticking to a nutritional strategy that's actually gonna help us in the long run. Some people are really hardcore and they skip lunch, they skip breakfast, they skip lunch, and they wait till dinner, and then they want to eat the world at dinner, and they tell you, I just can't stop snacking.
Right. Or they'll have a not a great lunch. Like you skip breakfast and they'll have a salad with maybe like
3 ounces of chicken.
Or like a chef salad, which is like the deli turkey. You know, a hard-boiled egg, right? And so it's really, I remember when I had my surgery and they were like, no eating 8 hours before, but my surgery was like 2:00 in the afternoon. So I got up early to eat breakfast. So we'd still have 8 hours. And, you know, they ask you like the nurse asks you what you ate. The anesthesiologist comes in and asks you what you ate. Everyone asked me what I ate. And I told them, did you eat today? Yes. They're like, what time? I told them what time. It's in the 8-hour window. So they're like, okay, what did you have? And I tell them, and all of them were like, oh, that sounds really good. I had ground turkey with 2 eggs and rice and bell peppers. Simple stuff. Very satiating, very satisfying and good. And you tell that to people, they're like, that sounds good. It's not hard to do.
No, and that's something you just said, because that was going to be my next thing. Things that we suggest for breakfast. I like to have 4 ounces of ground turkey, lean meat. We do goat, we'll do beef. So anything, the ground turkey is usually 99% lean. 4 ounces of that. And I have 2 to 3 eggs. Right now, 2, because we're in like a little bit of a cut phase, you know, but
you put some cottage cheese in there.
Put some cottage cheese in the eggs. Boom, boom, boom. Mix that up. And then I make a egg and turkey cheesy scramble, right? And then on the side of that, I'll have fruit. Right now in season, it's citrusy, and I love me some oranges of the mandarin, tangerine, clementine, honey bells, whatever oranges are available. I have one of those. And then I have a little sourdough toast.
Yeah.
That's what I like for breakfast right now. We were doing rice for a little bit, like a cup of rice or half a cup of rice, or potatoes with it. But, you know, there's a lot of protein in the egg and turkey scramble and cheese. Janie likes to put peppers in them. Great. Vitamin C. Boom, out in your face right there early in the morning. Then you have controlled amount of carbohydrates. Now you got protein, fats, and a controlled amount of carbohydrates, and off you go. And it's pretty satiating.
Yeah.
Not only that, and then, guys, you put your coffee in, because people have coffee and they think they had breakfast.
Yes. Yeah. And so a lot of people, I don't have time for breakfast, but it's, you just have to make time, right? And then a lot of people are like, well, I have to get my kids ready to get them out the door, you know, do all this stuff. Again, make time. But there's also stuff that you can pre-make to then heat up and eat, either at home or when you get to work, because I do understand that. And so
some people don't like eggs, or they don't do well with eggs. My mother comes to mind. She doesn't like eggs. It blows my mind. But this is where something like Greek yogurt comes in. Greek yogurt's great. If you want to put protein powder in the Greek yogurt, makes it even more protein.
Cottage cheese,
and, you know, put protein powder in there that gives
We're
you
not a huge fan of smoothies. I used to be a smoothie person when I met Dan.
And I saved her and made her have breakfast.
Yeah. So because I would work 7 to 7 in a primary care setting, but the commute was 45 minutes to an hour. So I was waking up very early. So smoothies were easy, right? And I was getting in protein. I was getting in micronutrients, right? Looking back, I could have made them better. I was still, a little newbie in with health. But then I read, who's that guy? Oh, he spoke at Summer Strong. He does a lot of for strongmen and bodybuilders health stuff. He has the vertical diet or whatever.
Stand efforting.
Yeah, stand efforting. I heard him talk about drinking versus chewing food, right? And I was like, oh. And
very different.
Yeah. And now, besides just like how he does it from a stance of nutrient breakdown, feelings of satiety, like the enzymes and everything going, he talks about from that. And
blood sugar too, it's completely different.
Yeah. Yes, blood sugar as well. And then I read about our jaw development with soft drinking foods versus actually chewing stuff. And so I converted to team chew your food.
That's a rabbit hole with jaw, mandibular function and mandibular strength and how your brain works. So cognitive function as well is very tied to this. And that's a rabbit hole that we have to deep dive into.
So everything's a process in our body. We don't have to get into it in depth right now, but when you smell food and like when you smell things and you start to salivate a little bit, or you see something and you start to salivate a little bit, that's, enzymes starting. That sets off a whole cascade of things in your body for hunger, satiety, digestion, all these things. And then you put it in your mouth and you eat it. The digestion process starts in your saliva and with the mechanical breakdown of the food with your teeth. And then you swallow it, it goes down the esophagus into your stomach acids, breaking it down further. And so if we just drink something, we kind of bypass the chewing and it just dumps into our stomach. And this whole process of breaking things down so that it can sort of trickle into our, circulatory system and then start that whole process of nourishing our body versus just dumped. And then here's all this stuff, right? Yeah. And so
best practice wise, eggs, meat, that sort of thing, potatoes, sourdough, some fruit, get a good amount of protein, chew on your breakfast. Second tier, better than not having breakfast, I'm going to put the Greek yogurt in there because you're not really chewing it, right? Yeah. It's almost like you're just swallowing
some
that.
Some granola in there so you crunch that.
Yep, granola, good granola. Shout out Purely Elizabeth, the original recipe, because it doesn't have stuff in it. But Greek yogurt with a little bit of protein and granola in there and some fruit, boom, that's a better choice. And then third tier, we'd say have a smoothie if it really is.
But you can load that smoothie up. My friend Jess makes like a superfood smoothie. Mm-hmm. So you can load the smoothie up. A couple other things just real quick that I want to talk about. My brother actually made his own granola. Like he baked it at home. So this is what I'm going to say. Take stuff that you like that seems easy, right? So when we think about breakfast, the thing that comes to my mind, Jimmy Dean, okay? Because they have the little breakfast sandwiches, they have the breakfast bowls, breakfast burritos, things like that. So I always look at stuff, what's convenient in the store, and then I can make that. Maybe it takes some time, like on a Saturday or Sunday, to make a bunch of breakfast bowls or like the Starbucks egg bites, make those in a muffin tin. Maybe I make some burritos and freeze them. And then I can more control protein content, fat content, carb content, the ingredients. And now I just grab something in the morning and I've set myself up well. So look and see, like, what would I buy that's convenient? And now how can I take control and make that? Because those breakfast bowls are great, but they don't have enough protein. And so let me make them, but double the amount of protein, and it's not much different.
Yeah, they're loaded with other extra stuff that you don't need in your life. Yes, I know, but I'm just
talking about that.
So it bottom line, what it comes down to is have breakfast, guys. It's going to set you up to make better food choices throughout the day, which is what it comes down to. People have a hard time adhering to a nutritional strategy because one of the big reasons, willpower. But willpower, when you come and look at it, is you're hungry. You let yourself go hungry. You're not going to make good choices when you're hungry.
Yeah, and also not being hungry in the morning is a red flag. I'm not saying you wake up, your stomach's growling, because like I'll wake up and I'll walk the dogs. By the time I'm done walking the dogs, I'm like, I'm hungry, right? That's a sign your metabolism isn't firing like we want it to. Starting to inject food at the beginning of your day will help wake that up and get you back to having a metabolism that's firing appropriately. People wear that like a badge. I'm not hungry in the morning. That's not, no, don't get off that pedestal.
Well, and
sit down.
And immediately I'm like,
breakfast.
what's going on? Something's not right.
Yeah.
But also a better strategy here that's old school, but it kind of holds. People that say, oh, have a big breakfast, a smaller lunch, and then a smaller dinner. I think that's a way better strategy than just kind of winging it and skipping a meal flat out.
Yeah.
Like if your breakfast has, let's say, I don't know, you have a 600 calorie breakfast, then your lunch is a little bit less, and then your dinner's a little bit less. I'm just using arbitrary numbers. That's going to put you way under a good caloric intake.
Yeah.
But, hey, I had this much food for breakfast. My lunch is a little bit smaller, but it's still protein dense, whatever, and nutritionally dense. And then dinner, I have a smaller thing, and you kind of down step into sleep. I think that's a way better approach to it than just saying, I'm going to skip breakfast and I'm going to try to backlog all my calories in dinner,
Yeah.
So something to consider there, guys.
Yeah.
Bottom line, have breakfast.
Yep. And if you need help, I have acquired some resources for quick breakfasts, high protein breakfasts. So please send us a DM at Achieve the Lifestyle on Instagram or shoot us an email at info@achievethelifestyle.com. We can help you with your breakfast questions.
Yeah, we definitely share that with you. Just hit us up and we'll share that with you and help you get on this breakfast wagon.
Yep.
Anything you want to close?
No, I had another point, but I forgot it.
You're getting old.
No, I'm not getting old. You cut me off.
No, you're getting old. You're forgetting a lot of stuff. I'm the one that's supposed to be forgetting stuff. I'm worried. I'm worried for my wife, guys.
And if people just look at your hair, they'll see that I'm not the one who forgets things.
You know what? Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, guys. That is another episode. So till the next one, what I want you to do is go to your grocery store, buy yourself some eggs, some lean ground meats. Make yourself a nice little breakfast scramble.
Yep.
Okay. You can put some peppers in there, you can put some veggies in there, but enjoy a nice breakfast scramble. Feel good. Feel that power in your stomach, right? See what it does for your health. Okay. See how your day goes when you have a nice breakfast. I bet you it goes a hell of a lot better. You're ready to tackle drama. And till the next one, stay pharma-free.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the PharmaPhobic podcast. If you found this conversation interesting, which I know you did, make sure to follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also make sure to check us out on Instagram at Achieve the Lifestyle. And if you're interested in pursuing a stronger, healthier, more capable version of yourself, check out our website at achievethelifestyle.com.
The PharmaPhobic podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not constitute medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making any medical or wellness decisions. While we discuss pharmaceutical, holistic, and alternative health topics, our content is not a substitute for professional medical guidance.